Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about surviving more in EFT fights. I want to make it clear that at no point am I claiming to be the best EFT fighter. However, when I'm on top of my game and I do things right, I think that a person wanting to get better could learn a couple of things. In this situation, I was doing the mission for Jaeger where you need to get frags in the office area. As I was loading the safe, I started hearing footsteps and then another set of footsteps and then another set of footsteps. So I knew that 3 people were coming my way. The first thing that happens is that the door opens. So I'm going to use my laser here to just point and pre-fire. As you see, there's nobody here. I do this all the time. I open this door and then I go to the other door. So I automatically start running to the other door. And there's one of our guys. My first instinct is to chase after him, but I actually catch myself thinking, and I remember at this moment, I'm like, oh crap, don't push outside because there's 2 more. And I bet there's one coming in the other door right now. As you noticed, I was pre-firing a bit and I was surprised that he wasn't in the door, but now we finally see a clear target. The moment I take this guy out, I instantly turn to the other door because the other guy should be pushing me. If the footsteps aren't enough, you can see bottom left the shadow of the guy pushing in. The moment I see this guy going down, I instantly know that I have to 180 because I did hear one more. I was right. Now I stop and I listen. I don't hear any other movement, but I still go check because keep in mind you can make parties up to 5. So this was a 1v3. This whole fight took like 10 seconds, so I'll replay it again without pausing and talking over it so you guys can just fully listen. You might have noticed that I was wearing a pretty decent armor. It's not the best, but it is class 5, and a decent helmet with a face shield. I usually run something like this for close range combat. The 2 things that will help you in fights is ammo and armor. First, let's go ahead and talk about ammo. In this clip here, I started hearing footsteps in front of me, so I was trying to pin them down. Oh my gosh. Okay, you're dead. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. Oh, what? My number 1 mistake was jumping over the fence and pushing him because the guy was coming my way anyway, but I'm just very impatient. I ate a shot. My arm is gone. He also hit my armor because you can see my thorax is red, but now he has to reload and I start shooting at him. And the first thing that I notice when I'm shooting at him from up close, I see his helmet and his face shield. I automatically think that if he's running a good helmet, he's got good armor, so I aim for his legs. The reason I do that is because there's no armor for the legs, so I know that if I can black him out and keep hitting him, he's gonna die. But you guys know how the story goes. I run out of ammo and I get taken out. Now, props to this guy. He did well. He won that fair and square, but I hit him 17 times. The ammo that I was using was 545-39 BT ammo, which most people say it's the 3rd best ammo for the AK. Personally, I don't like it, but what should you use? Head over to Google, type in EFT ammo chart Google Doc, and click on the first link. I don't know who's in charge of this list, but good job because they are putting everything from damage to armor penetration to everything that you would need to know about bullets. And the ammo that I was using is right here, 549-39 BT ammo. Personally, I use the 7N39 Eagle Nick ammo or the BS ammo. Challenge yourself to play with one of the best ammos in the game for a little bit and see how many more fights you're gonna win. The M61. If you don't have it unlocked, I know it's gonna be a little pricey on the flea market, but trust me, you're gonna start winning more fights and it'll be worth it. For a clear example, we go to this clip here to where I run to East Wing and my teammate gets dropped. I also heard a window break, so I know they're gonna be somewhere in front of me. I stop and I listen. If you're watching this on the phone, you probably didn't hear it, but there's footsteps in front of me and somebody right in front of those stairs took a shot at me. So I'm gonna run to the other stairs because I can catch him off position, and that's exactly what I do. This guy's trying to flank. I hear some other footsteps and I try to take out the other guy. This is M61 ammo. Whenever you get in a fight, always make sure to check all the corners because it can be a team of up to 5. This was only 2, but I always check everywhere and I listen for footsteps. The one thing I want to mention is don't push where they're expecting you to be. Right here, they knew where I was because they took a shot at me. If I would have pushed those stairs, they would have both been aiming at me and mow me down. So that's why I ran to the other side and I caught him off guard. This guy was full sprinting, and the other guy, he was also trying to rotate out of position, and I took him out. One of the most overlooked things is armor. People just think, hey, if I get shot, I get shot. No, good armor can save your life. Like right here, there was a guy literally camping the door with probably one of the craziest guns, a P90. He tried to mow me down. He didn't. And I actually ended up taking him out and surviving this. Granted, I was on 30 health, but I survived. I'm still learning reserves a bit, so this was kind of scary to me. The moment he started shooting at me, I fell back and I go to close the door. I actually failed the first time, so I go back in and close the door because I'm trying to fall back. I wanted to fall all the way back, but I heard him pushing and he opens the door. So I just start spraying using my laser. I don't even aim down sights because I have better ammo than him. I actually take him out and I survive. My last tip in this video is going to be learn to use lasers. I think by this point you've seen a lot of my fights that I don't even scope down. I mean, look at this gun. I have this scope, I have this sight on it, but for this fight I'm going to use just the lasers. I know some people are going to say, I don't need lasers. My monitor has this crosshair option or this weird one, or I use a little bit of tape or post-it notes or even Sharpie in the middle of my monitor. I don't have a problem with people using this. Just know that it's not very accurate. Right here I'm standing still, and once I start moving you can see that it's nowhere near the crosshair. This is zoomed in a little bit, and then when I start taking shots you can see that I would miss a target if it was around that size. External crosshairs could help a bit, but I wouldn't rely on them. Normally I only use 1 or 2 lasers. Blue ones are my favorite, but this was built by a subscriber because he thought it'd be funny. I'm using an M4 with M995 ammo. I see one guy, put a couple of shots at him, he goes down. Again, importance of good ammo. I'm playing with a teammate, so my teammate's watching second floor. I fall back and reload because I only have 30 rounders, but I stop and I listen and I hear footsteps above. The first thing that I do is I check the stairs because I've died a light from them, and then I check this, and do you see his elbow right there? Once I realize that, I go straight to pre-firing, and that's another one down. As I'm reloading, my teammate pushes the stair. By the way, my teammate is my wife, so she tells me, hey, there's one more up top. I simply peek and throw a grenade, but I do notice one of them there. My nade wasn't perfect because I heard it hit the balustrada, but I go and pre-fire through that dust. The reason why I push right after my grenade is because the grenade creates a lot of dust, so there's not great visibility. Also, if they're not dead from the grenade, they might be concussed from it, that little ringing. So I figure it's a good time to push. Oh, did you hear that? That moment I knew there's one more, and hey, the tip of his gun is right there. As soon as my brain registers that, I start pre-firing and I get him, and I always go to check. And there's not anymore. This was the whole fight. It was 4 players, but I always go check all the corners, everything, because I don't want anybody hiding and popping me. I want to end this video with a fight in the wide open of shoreline in a 1v3 with not very good ammo. Probably a little hard to tell, but behind those bushes I saw some movement. The first thing I do is I scope down, but I'm too late because whatever it is behind this rock. So I don't know if it's a solo guy or a team. I also don't know if they notice me, so I just go try to take a defensive position and scope in. Instantly it's clear that there's at least 2, and the first one noticed me. Very important to note is that if I didn't see this guy running and he was stopped aiming at me, I wouldn't have started shooting. I would have instantly fallen back. This way I'm able to take the first shots before they can retaliate. They did a good job because they hit my helmet, but I try to see if I can get anybody with double scoped in, if I can just peek my head over, but I don't get lucky, and I hear some grenades, so I'm like, I gotta run from there. I'm also having some issues with my scope, that's why I keep scoping in and out. I make sure my laser's on, and then I check around the rock and I try to listen. Now when the coast is a little clear, I reload because I have an AKM with 30 rounders, and I realize that reloading will give away my position, but I heard one of them jumping, so I know that one of them is literally just around the corner, and the moment I see him, just using my lasers, I shoot at him and I instantly reload. And while I'll do that, I'm listening for footsteps. I hear something to the right of me, but then something louder to the left of me, so I'm like, oh crap, it might be 2. I scope down for this, because this is kind of far for just lasers. And at this point, I'm thinking if there's one more, I'm going to try to run for cover and hide and prone and heal, but I'm getting shot at from the left side there. So there is a third person and he's fighting me because he should know that I'm lit, because the other guys would have probably been like, yo, I hit him a bunch of times. And I go on top of the rock. I look to my right to see if he's going to push me. Then I try to peek a little bit to see if I spot him, and I do. He's also looking at me, but I also check my right side and my left side because I don't know if there's one more. What I'm going to try to do here is constantly peeking from different angles. Right here, I turn on my laser, and just using my laser through this blurry vision, I constantly try to move and go to different angles, and that's how I won a 1v3 on Shoreline in kind of the open. Personally, I win a lot of fights and I lose a lot of fights. There's no perfect recipe. You can try to get better, and as long as you learn from your mistakes and want to improve, then you can only get better. Also, knowledge of the game can also help you. In this example right here, I have an SKS and I'm fighting a guy with an SVD. I'm using this tree as cover, and you'll see that he keeps taking shots whenever I peek. So I know that if I keep peeking, I'm going to lose this fight. I take my pistol, turn the flashlight on, and I full on rush him while zigzagging, which does help confuse him because he's looking at the other side. I don't even aim down sights. I'm using my flashlight as a crosshair. But here's the thing, we're both reloading, and I know that I'm going to finish reloading before him, and I'm putting like 4 or 5 shots before he takes a shot towards me. And the only reason I won this fight is because my pistol reloaded faster than his SVD. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and hopefully you have learned something. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you leave a like and a comment. Maybe you want to subscribe to me and tell me that you love me, because I need attention, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.